Hello everyone, I am Vedant Bhargava and this is my first video on YouTube. On this platform, we are going to provide you the best quality and free education. Our main motive is to enhance our confidence level. So keep loving and keep supporting and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the chapter number 1 of class 10 science, that is chemical reaction and equation. So before I start this video, I want to tell you that this video is the part of revision series. We are providing you the revision series. In that series, we are providing you the lectures of those chapters which are in your syllabus so that you can learn more in less time. So first I picked up the subject science. In science, we start with the chapter number 1, that is chemical reaction and equation. So in this chapter, we have to understand that what is chemical reaction. So chemical reaction is basically a process in which a substance mixes to another substance to form a new compound. For example, if I take the substance A and I mix this substance with B so that I obtain the compound C. So the whole process takes here is known as chemical reaction. See, this is not the only way by which you can find that there is chemical reaction takes place. There are many other ways. For example, sometimes they may ask that what are the ways by which you can find that there is chemical reaction takes place. So there are major 5 ways by which you can find that there is chemical reaction takes place. First is change in color. If there is change in color takes place, then you can say that there is chemical reaction takes place. For example, if I take the base NaOH, in that base, I mix the indicator phenolphthalein. As we all know that phenolphthalein is an indicator and when it is mixed with base, the base turns pink. So the whole process takes here is known as chemical reaction. This is the part of chemical reaction. Another method is change in temperature. If there is change in temperature takes place, then you can say that there is chemical reaction takes place. In future, or in this chapter, you heard about the reaction that is photolytic reaction. In that reaction, you suffered from the temperature change. For example, in that reaction, sunlight plays the major role, and as we all know that sunlight is the major source of change in temperature or temperature. So in that case, you will find that there is chemical reaction takes place is all due to the temperature change. So in that case, you will learn about the change in temperature. Another is change in state. If there is change in state takes place, then you can say that there is chemical reaction takes place. As we all know that there are 3 major states. First is solid, second is liquid, and third is gas. If a substance turns solid to liquid or liquid to gas, for example, if I take an ice turns into water, water is liquid, and if I burn that water, then water change into vapors and vapors is a part of gas. So in that case, solid turns into liquid and liquid turns into gas. So as we all know that we heard about in that case about the chemical reaction. So chemical reaction is all due to the change in state in that case. Now we learn about the evolution of gas. Evolution of gas is also the major source of chemical reaction. If there is chemical reaction takes place or there is maybe gas form, for example, like when carbon mixes into oxygen, the carbon dioxide form. The carbon dioxide is what? Carbon dioxide is a gas. Then in that case, you will heard about the chemical reaction is all due to the evolution of gas. Or you can see that sometimes people smoke, then there is also the evolution of gas takes place. This is also due to the chemical reaction. There is in any sometimes case there is also chemical reaction takes place. Now another is formation of precipitate. Formation of precipitate is not given or written in your book, but it is a part of chemical reaction. Precipitate, or you can say PPT. So in that case, you heard about the new term precipitate or PPT. What is precipitate? So precipitate is basically a substance which do not settle into a substance or liquid but settle down. So that settled down product is known as precipitate. For example, if I take a stone and I pick or mix this stone into water or put this stone into water, then this stone do not soluble in water, do not mixed in water, but settle down. So that settle down product is known as precipitate. So anywhere if there is precipitate form, then you can say that there is chemical reaction takes place. Now come to another topic, that is chemical equation. Chemical equation is basically a part of chemical reaction. Chemical equation provides you a way to represent the elements in terms of symbols or formulas. For example, if I take the element carbon, so I don't need to write the carbon in the long term. It is also written in the form of short term. For example, if I say that scientists represent this carbon, or tell us that carbon is represented by C, this is not only applicable up to carbon element, it is applicable up to all the elements that are in our periodic table. See, there are 118 or 19 elements, so it is all applicable up to those elements or for all compounds or substances. So another, if I take oxygen, then I don't need to write this oxygen in the long term, it is also represented by O. This is all the part of chemical equation. So chemical equation is basically a quantitative या qualitative method which used to represent the elements in terms of formulas or symbols or in short form. So chemical reaction. Now for example, if I take the another reaction, for example, if I take another reaction, that is if carbon, or you can say that if hydrogen mixed with oxygen, then it form water. So I don't need to write this whole term in the long way. It is also represented in the short form, that is hydrogen is represented by H2, oxygen is represented by O2, and water is represented by H2O. So this whole process is known as chemical equation. So you understand about what is chemical equation. Now say that chemical equation is basically a qualitative method to represent the elements in terms of symbols or formulas. So thank you. Now we study about this chapter in the lecture 2.